I'm at number 207 here in Kakabeka Falls. This is a primitive campsite. I have been going through rainstorm after rainstorm after rainstorm. I'm sick of rain. I got a lot of stuff drying over there in that fence. The tent was set up in the rain as well. I could have waited, but it's just going to come back again. My first impressions of Ontario, I feel silly asking, like, how do you pronounce Kakabeka? There's a next town over is called Nipigon. How do I pronounce that? Nipigon? Nipigon? Then the second thing that I noticed is that it's in kilometers an hour, which, with the way that they have everything, is really slow. Where, I mean, Canada's big. You'd figure that they have way higher speed limits. I don't know if you can hear that, but those are rapids. All the rain that we've been getting is right in this river, right along beside my campsite. And it's gonna help lull me to sleep like a baby. It's gonna be great. Just listening to that.
Kakabeka Falls is nicknamed the Niagara of the North. It's in a provincial park which is managed by the province of Ontario, much like a state park would be in Minnesota. Kakabeka is an anglicized way of saying waterfall over a cliff in Ojibwe. We're going to learn a lot about the natives here, the Ojibwe, which are part of the Algic language family. Minnesota, where I'm from, acted as a sort of border where the Plains tribes met the North Woods tribes. The Plains tribes, like the Dakota and Lakota, were known as the Sioux by the Ojibwe. These two groups had pretty different language families and historically didn't always get along. Season 2 of this channel is on the Dakota War, which is sadly the reason there are no reservations in this part of the state of Minnesota. In that season, I created a video on the differences between the Siouxan and Ojibwe tribes and how their current names were determined by the first French contact.
West of the Mississippi, however, the landscape changed, and so did the language family. The tribes of the more woodland Wisconsin spoke from the Algic language family, and the tribes in the plains west of the Mississippi spoke what is known today as Siouxan. The difference in language family we're talking about is not like Spanish to Portuguese or even Spanish to English. We're talking any of those languages and Japanese. It's pretty different.
It's a pretty good big picture look at how the tribes of Central North America are comprised and named today. Anyway, and this is relevant, there was a story of Kakabeka Falls known as the Legend of Green Mantle. As the legend goes, the nearby Ojibwe found out that there was going to be an attack by Siouxan tribes. Princess Green Mantle, daughter of the chief, went into the invading Siouxan camp and pretended to be lost. Green Mantle said that in exchange for her life, she would show the Sioux where her father's camp was. She was placed at the front of a canoe and taken down the river with the Siouxan braves in tow. She led the warriors right over the Kakabeka Falls, saving her people from attack. Stories have her jumping to safety or giving her life to spare her tribe. Lastly, the legend says that you can see Princess Green Mantle when you look closely into the mist of Kakabeka Falls. It's been a really long day. I crossed into the country and found a place to set up, which was the whole plan. I spent the night having a couple drinks with Jason and Dan, also visiting from Minneapolis. If you guys are still watching, I had a great night with you both. And what's really great is it didn't rain that night, so we were able to have a fire and make some s'mores. This, of course, is the Saga Chronicles, so you can imagine the next morning.
I could probably end every sentence so far this season with, and then it rained. It's raining again. Third day in a row on me. Out of day 3. And it's starting to pick up again. I'm trying to make coffee and make the best of this situation. I'm probably just going to go back and sit in my tent. But it's really hard for things to dry off when it just keeps coming down. Well, I reserved nights to be here for 2 more nights here. There isn't really any cover in this site either. Oh. I heard Canadian police sirens for the first time in my sleep, which really weirded me out. They go, and I went, whoa, what is that? I had no idea what it was. Many of their maps say screw it and don't even go all the way to the top of the province. I spent the last 2 hours trying to find availability for hostels along Lake Ontario, like either in Niagara Falls or in Toronto itself, some of the major cities around there, around the 1st of July. This is the 150th year of Canadian independence from England. That's a big deal.
Not exactly. It's the 150th anniversary of Canada, but it's not of Canadian independence. It's much more complicated. More on that later.
I didn't know this until like yesterday. So I spent all this time, I don't know, the last couple hours trying to figure out, God damn it, this sucks. I think I'm gonna use my machete and just chop into the woods a bit. I'd rather get a single room. So I got one, and it's about $100 a night, and I'm gonna be there for 3 nights just to experience Toronto. Little chipmunk wants some food. Yeah, I see ya. I'm not gonna feed you. Do not feed animals. You can hang out. I'm not gonna feed you. Oh, you can watch me eat though.
I've made some reservations for some lodging further down the road. I'll have to stick to these dates as my targeted time to get into southern and more urban Canada. In the meantime, I have to get up and move around today, so I think I'm going to take a hike through the forests of the provincial park, rain or shine.